Ahoy VC, welcome to the Personal Oasis. This is the Blind Island, and today we are going to be doing another Top 5 Under 5. This is a segment in which I take a look at 5 albums with a specific thread under 5 minutes. In today's segment, we're going to be talking about jazz fusion and 5 albums that I think are worth having. First up, we have what we're playing on the Personal Oasis today, the 11th House, introducing with Larry Coryell. This is a who's who of jazz rockers back in the day. Larry Coryell is flaming on the guitar, and it is some of the best psychedelic rock jazz that you could ever imagine. If you're a fan of Frank Zappa, you're going to love this album. I would highly suggest that you check it out. Next, I have Grant Green's Carryin' On. This album is the beginning of what a lot of people call acid jazz, which is just basically doing the same vamp riff over and over again over a lot of reverb and tremolo. And Grant Green, oh my gosh, he just tears it up in this record. I love this album. It really was where a lot of people started to fall off with Grant Green, though, accusing him of being a sellout and definitely going commercial. But to me, he was always thinking ahead, a visionary. He didn't get the kudos that Wes Montgomery and Kenny Burrell were receiving, but I think that Grant Green was a visionary and definitely was predicting that breakbeat culture that would be coming in the late 80s and early 90s. Next, we have Chet Baker's You Can't Go Home Again. This was released in 1977, and it was supposed to be his true return to form, true return to commercial success. He came out with an album in 1974 on the CTI label called She Was Too Good to Me, and they put behind Chet on this record the biggest names in jazz at the time: Tony Williams, Hubert Laws, Alphonso Johnson, Ron Carter, John Scofield. It was really just trying to elevate him to that next level. However, it wound up being a project that Chet Baker hated. He is not a guy who was really into fusion and wanted to return to more of a quartet, quintet type of setting. But to my ears, this record sounds so good. It's on fire. I love this album. It does sound a little dated in spots, but I think that if you give this one a shot and you're a fan of jazz fusion, you're going to love this record. Next, we have Bacchanal by Beau de Borgia. This was released on his Sky label that was founded with fellow musicians Cal Jader and Gary McFarland. It only lasted 3 years before folding, but he came out with 2 wonderful records, Dreams included with this one. And this is just some really nice lounge fusion music, taking a lot of pop songs that were big at the time and putting them towards a more worldly, exotic jazz bend. And I just have to say, it is so pleasant. That would be the greatest word to describe this album. So please pick it up if you have the time. Just listen, it's super good. Next, and finally, we have Butcher Brown's Camden Session. This was recorded live, direct to disc in England, and wow, this is the most contemporary of the records that we have, and the musicianship that's on play here is stellar. It was one of my favorite albums of 2018, and I highly recommend anybody who is still looking for some contemporary jazz fusion to check this record out. It definitely keeps the spirit alive. So what did you guys think? Are you a fan of jazz fusion? Let me know in the comments below. And I hope that you guys have a great day on your own personal oasis. Cheers.